Realme has just dropped its 11 Pro 5G series here in the Philippines, and we're going to take a closer look at the 11 Pro Plus variant over here. Now, I must say both phones in the said series actually look very similar in terms of its design and actually have the same hardware within it. So in this video, we're going to take a look at 3 things that make this phone stand out over its younger twin brother. So let's start things off with the camera performance, because that's one of the first things you're going to see when looking through the spec sheet. While the Pro version does have 100 megapixels for its main shooter, this one on the other hand takes it up a notch with 200 megapixels and Super OIS. Now, as an aspiring content creator, I was able to take photos and videos to test out this bad boy. So let's look at the video quality first. Okay, so we're testing out the camera performance of the Realme 11 Pro Plus 5G. So based on the shots, mukhang okay naman siya. Here using 1080p resolution. We also have OIS stabilization active para mas limited yung shakiness ng shots natin. So I'm actually liking the performance. Okay, so now we're testing out the video quality on low light conditions. I just came from a premiere or a special screening of After Sun. So it's a little event. So after the event, ito, nasa sinehan ako, kakatapos lang niya. I just want to test out the video quality and I'll give more comments back at home or in the studio. As you can see with the footage that I was able to take, both were taken indoors, and in both situations, I must say it's still relatively bright, vibrant, and the details are still very crisp. You can see the detail despite different lighting conditions, and the same goes with photo quality. I must say, however, with this particular photo, for example, of the night sky, it is a bit too bright in comparison to how it actually looks in real life. But I must still say it is very much post-worthy. I would still love to post this on Instagram. Now, one of the things I love the most about this camera, of course, has to go with that OIS. It even has an additional 3-degree EDR OIS algorithm to further reduce blurring due to shakes. And I just recently got carpal tunnel, so I noticed some of my shots do tend to be shaky, but it's not all that evident when it comes to the Realme 11 Pro Plus 5G. This phone also comes with an 8 megapixel wide angle and a 2 megapixel filler, but then again, the highlight still has to go back to that 200 megapixel main camera. You also get a 32 megapixel selfie at the front, which is pretty good in terms of taking those selfie shots, because at the end of the day, it's still very post-worthy. Number 2, when it comes to performance, this phone has an edge when it comes to its storage. Both phones in the series actually have a MediaTek Dimensity 7050 processor, which in our opinion is still a very good processor if you think about it, but we still have a little bit of favor towards the Snapdragon 7 Gen 1. The Pro version has 8GB of RAM and 256GB of internal storage, while the Pro Plus version has 12GB of RAM and double the storage at 512. While more RAM doesn't always necessarily equate to better performance, storage space does count in order for you to store more apps and do more things with the phone. So I would actually lean over to that 512GB of internal storage for this phone. Now, while both have the same amount of battery life, things get a bit interesting when it comes to its charging. Both run with a SuperVOOC fast charger, but 100 watts for the Pro Plus and just 66 watts for the Pro. It does help that you are able to charge things a bit quicker with the Pro Plus variant. So basically, those are 3 things that make this phone slightly better than its Pro variant. But to be honest, the similarities do still count. First and foremost, you get a lychee vegan leather at the back, and the amount of detail on this bad boy is really amazing. You get a stitching-like quality running through the camera module all the way to the bottom of the phone. You also have this line that crosses throughout the middle of the phone, which kind of looks or reminds me of a zipper. The camera module in itself is very different, which I actually like. It's not the typical 2-camera module setup that we usually find in most smartphones nowadays. It's one big circular module in the upper middle portion of the phone. Some people have commented in my previous video that it looks like a washing machine. I don't necessarily see it, but maganda yung overall design. There are little accents to the camera module itself that add to that nice design. Realme actually teamed up with former Gucci prince and textile designer Matteo Menotto for the rear design of these phones, which actually show up in the actual look of the phone. It does almost remind me of a leather bag, which is something that you'd see on a fashion runway. Both phones also come with a 6.7-inch OLED curved panel, a refresh rate of 120 Hz, and a touch sampling rate of 360 Hz. At maximum brightness, this phone can also go as high as 900 nits, which means you can actually use this phone even in direct sunlight. Now, one of the things that people may not necessarily be a fan of when it comes to curved displays is the occasional mist-touch phenomenon, if you will. But Realme has the X-Touch Anti-Mist-Touch Algorithm 2.0, which basically helps prevent that from actually happening. Overall, I love the displays of both phones. They're actually very crisp, vibrant, and it's really nice to watch your favorite Netflix or Disney Plus movies or shows on these bad boys. I personally love the slight little details that you get with the Pro Plus. If you are a content creator or aspiring content creator, you would definitely benefit a lot when it comes to that camera. The charging speeds will also help. Given both phones naman have the same amount of battery life, it does help that you're able to juice up this bad boy a bit faster. And of course, having more storage as an option is still pretty great. Sadly, upon making this video, there is no official price yet, but given that it might be along the lines of a mid-range phone, then definitely this is one that you might consider because of the features that especially the Pro Plus version offers. So that's pretty much it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and see you guys on the next one. Peace.